And this is proof. This is documented proof that I have always been ahead of my time, and I have always been a trendsetter, because next to my senior picture, which, let's be clear, looks like a glamour shot from inside the mall, I have the biggest poof ever.
The big bangs, the blue eyeshadow.
Perfectly big blonde tendrils. It said I wanted to become a, wait for it, professional pickleball player.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry?
Class of 1993, baby. Go Tigers.
Ammunition.
Wow. For those of you that don't know, pickleball did originate in the Pacific Northwest. And yes, it is that old.
I seriously just asked that question because I did not grow up in the Pacific Northwest. So I am constantly amazed and baffled
by the pickleball phenomenon.
It is so cool. I'm going to deck myself out in some pickleball gear.
It's so fun just to hear it. Some people don't like hearing the click of the paddle on the pickleball, but I like it.
And they get so competitive.
It's the only kitchen I want to be in.
Welcome to Beats Working, winning the game of events, where we share stories and strategies to turn any event or life moment into something unforgettable.
Events are wild, and the people who work in them are some of the most resilient humans on Earth. If you know, you know.
So come with us behind the curtain for a look at their most memorable experiences.
As they say, the show must go on, so let's get on with the show.
Welcome back to another episode of my favorite time of the month, the Fun Table. That's right. I've gathered around the table with my favorite party people. And today we're going to take a trip down memory lane, whether you like it or not. This episode of the Fun Table dives headfirst into chaos, nostalgia, and occasional cringe fests that are reunions. From high school gymnasiums to family barbecues, we unpack the unique cocktail of emotions stirred up by seeing old friends, frenemies, and family members. Have you ever wondered why people never quit moving on from prom night? Or why you suddenly feel the urge to Google your college ex before showing up? Libby, Alysse, Amy, Dele, and Kristin are bringing all the stories, the laughs, and the real talk to the table. Welcome to the Fun Table, ladies.
Woo.
Woo. Okay, when it comes to reunions, I don't love high school reunions. I recently, a year ago, went to my 30-year high school reunion, which I know if you're watching this video on YouTube, like most people are, you're very confused right now. How could she possibly be at a 30-year high school reunion?
No way.
Also weird, this year, my son is having his 10-year high school reunion. So there's some wild math for you. I know. But the reunions that I am best known for are my family reunions. For those of you who have been friends with me or following me on social media, you have probably seen every 3 years that it looks like I go to family church camp, because I do. Our family reunions are very organized. There's lots of games. There's lots of coordinated activities. We get divided into teams. There's usually outfits. Like my family takes reunions like it's an extreme sport. And I have to tell you, I love it. Like, I'm here for it. Like when people see my family reunion Instagram reels, I think you all get a little jelly because you're like, wow, how do I get in on that? Mm-hmm.
It's true, actually. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's true because your family reunions, I mean, like you said, they're themed, they're multi-day. You guys have somebody who plans them, or a couple of people, or doesn't, like, they're in charge of the planning. So they plan games, people come in costumes. Mm-hmm. It is like scheduled from like 7 to 10. I mean, you don't have to do everything, but there is an itinerary. There's something going on, whether it's free time or it's game time. You guys do things. And do you guys also have like plays and musicals people put on?
Oh yeah. We once, I think at the last one, actually, we reenacted one of the Civil Wars, I'm pretty sure. And like there were outfits because a lot of my family very crafty. So there's a lot of people making things because we're very, very crafty. I'm pretty sure I could find that video of reenacting a Civil War. That definitely happened.
I have so many things. First of all, I'm going to file this under things you can't make up. Mm-hmm. And is your family in the Pacific Northwest? Like where geographically does this family summer camp Olympics take place?
So the family is all over, but this reunion takes place in Bend, Oregon. Because we've got people in Alaska, Washington, Idaho, California, and a few on like my sister's on the East Coast, but most people are in the states that I just mentioned. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we have family reunions. None of that happens, but is there someone that can adopt me into your family? Because I'm down.
What's the
a Civil War reenactment, costumes, like I'm down for all of it.
Yeah, it's actually to get in. So if you bring someone to the reunion, like you're +1, it is assumed that you are about to get married if you're not already married or engaged. It's a very serious move to bring someone to a family reunion. Which, let's be clear, ladies, I have never, ever, ever even come close to doing. Not for me. But now I've seen many cousins that were like, babies at reunions that have brought their significant others. And decades later, I'm still showing up alone. But that's okay.
I will be your +1. I will Martin Solveig all day long. Yeah. Can I be your +1?
You've already given her the location. Like, careful, she's fishing you right now. She'll find you.
Don't give me Life 360 or Find Your Friends, because I will show up as your +1.
Well,
at that family camp Olympics.
Yeah, there was one year where they recreated a board game, but it was life size, and then we were divided into teams. There was the red team, the blue team, the yellow team, the green team. We had vests, we had hats. It was a whole thing. And there was one of the activity was panning for gold. And one of my cousins quilted all these blankets to look like rivers and then spray painted rocks and sprinkled them all over the blankets so that the little kids could go panning for gold. This is the level of detail to which my family rises.
This is like 23andMe, but like I know. I mean,
I think my family was pretty groovy for the family camp Olympics. I mean, we don't do that. We just have a family reunion. But
I mean, dude, Alysse, do you think that just that level of planning, does it bring more stress? I mean, clearly, I think it would bring a little bit more stress, but you guys like planning this stuff. So who knows? It could just be like stress you love. Do you think, because you have a very diverse family, you have all different ages, all different, beliefs and people and things they love and things they don't love. Do these family reunions bring you guys closer together with all of the group activities?
Yeah, I think they do. And I don't actually think we're that diverse. So my mom had 2 brothers and 1 sister, and she had a brother, my Uncle Quentin, very close to her age. And then her older brother and sister were like 15, 16 years older. So there's this huge gap, which means that like nobody knows, like, wait, are you a cousin? Are you an aunt? Are you an uncle? Like a bunch of my cousins think I'm the aunt because I'm the age that an aunt should be. So it gets a little confusing in that sense. And there's a lot of worship time. There's a lot of church services that happen, in addition to the theme. But in addition to the church services, we're also pretty intense about playing Mafia, which if you haven't played that game before, it's a game of murder and lying. And my family loves it. In fact, one year it got down to my sister and my Uncle Quentin, who's retired FBI, and one other person. And my sister convinced my Uncle Quentin, the retired FBI, that she was innocent, and she was definitely not.
There's been a murder.
And then we couldn't play that game for the rest of the reunion. It was like, it got too heated. It got really intense.
That was going to be my question, is how competitive does it get? Is it all actual fun?
Very.
Okay.
Very competitive. But you also have to know that like there's no alcohol at these reunions. There's no substances involved. So this is just pure
even
Jesus loving,
just
family time
bonding.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to jump in.
I know I don't want to interrupt, so I was trying to do this, but I have a lot of questions about this because you see, this is the kind of thing that is going to be my family going forward. So we might have to have a side talk at some point. But Alysse, I need to know for the unplugged portion, like reunion light portion that is optional, the opt-in parts, is anybody shamed for like not showing up to those parts? Or is it like, these are the mandatory items and then these are the optional things? And then my part B of this question is, how do you guys decide on a theme for the reunion and who has the ultimate say?
That's a lot of good questions. Let me see if I can unpack that. So no, there's no guilt or shame if you do or don't show up to the reunion. If you show up and you do or don't participate in the activities, pretty much during the day is pretty loose. People go golfing, shopping, hiking, rafting, whatever, like all the activities, or they're stuck with all the little kids by the pool and the barn animals or whatever. So it's very, very loose. Now, but at the evening time, that is where you're there. You're pretty much there and you're participating in some way, shape, or form, even if you're, one of the elders just looking on from the sidelines. So we actually just had a changing of the guards. And two of my cousins have been on Beats Working, winning the game of events, Sheena and Bethany, because they both have event planning in their background. And Sheena and her mother and her sister have just taken over being like the ones in charge. And technically Sheena is my second cousin because I'm first cousins with her mom. But so they have taken over like the coordination of what is going to happen each day, but everybody gets assigned jobs. So you get assigned like, this is your day to do breakfast. This is your night to do dinner. And you are expected to show up and do whatever the food prep is or whatever the cleaning is. But there are people that are like, pretty much like, these are the Costco runners. These are the people that know how to cook. I am not in either of those camps, to be clear. But yes, no, it's pretty organized. It's pretty organized.
Are we not going to go back to the barn animals comment? We're just skipping over that one.
I know.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't even know how to talk about anything else after this. I'm like, I grew up in the Midwest. I was thinking wild and crazy. Like, we have our own brand of cattle. So that was my favorite thing, was a steak the size of a plate that I could eat.
More barn.
And my Uncle Phil making the steaks. Like, our biggest things were like, can we get potatoes with no onions? The old people liked onions. We didn't. I got tackled by my cousin playing spoons off the end of a picnic table. And we got banned from playing spoons when we wrapped, I don't know if it's Aunt Annie or Aunt Joycelyn's silverware around a finger, because the game got a little, I don't know, passionate. But like, we didn't have any of that. And I thought ours were pretty wild. Like, we would leave on a Saturday to go to mass and come back for my one part of my family. Wow. You had to put it on pause for a moment before you.
How many of you guys had family reunions growing up? Like, that was part of your thing? Okay. I was just wondering.
Oh, they were huge. Like, there was the whole thing.
My mom's maiden name was Smith. So like, there's a lot of Smiths. We've been doing these every 2 to 3 years before Jacob, my son, was born. So for over 30 years.
It's amazing.
It's admirable. Yeah.
But and now it's like 70, 80. I don't know how many there are. Like, and there'll now be kids there that I'm not sure who goes to who. I'm pretty sure because I'm connected with all of them on social media. But I would say that it's all about legacy, right? It's about so everybody knows where we come from and what our roots are and, the importance of Grandma and Grandpa Smith. because it started with 4 kids and now it's like this whole like little village, you know?
I think that's really cool when you think about the loneliness epidemic that we have in the world. And I was just watching some social media, something, we all are, where they were talking about, they showed the timeline of the difference between how people met their partners and how they spent their time. And it went from all their time with their family and in their celebration of religion of choice to now they spend all their time on the internet and they don't spend time around their family. And I love that you bring up the topic of legacy because it's in those reunions that's where you get to know the humans and you get to know the legacy. Like, why are the old people important? The elders in my life are so incredibly important. I used to write them. I used to write everyone in my family before we had email and all those things. I'd write them a letter and a handwritten letter and send one photo, same photo to the entire family. Well, then they couldn't read my handwriting because their eyesight was bad in their 80s. And so I would type in really big print and print it off and do the same thing. But I wouldn't have had that connection to the older people in my family if I didn't go to reunions and love my Uncle Phil because he gave my daughter a sucker when she wasn't even a year old. Like that was his job, the shock and awe, like me turn my back and come back and Uncle Phil's feeding the baby suckers. Like it was okay.
Well, you know, one thing that I know that I've noticed every reunion is the first night that we gather for a meal, right? What you see is everybody in their individual families sitting together because that's who they came with. That's who they know the best. But by the end of the reunion, which is not more than 3 or 4 days, you don't see that anymore. You see everybody sitting with everybody and everybody talking to everybody. And that ice just kind of melts relatively quickly, you know, in a very short period of time.
Pardon the pun, relatively.
Thank you. I'll be here all day. Kristin, jazz hands.
Like, you know what? I love this. This is like me watching the Hallmark Channel descriptions of like what I want to watch first. I'd love to spend some time though for those who don't feel a connection to their biological families and either reunions that show us that are almost a rear view mirror, show us from whence we came, like, and that could be high school, that could be lots of things, or family sometimes. But also finding new communities if you don't necessarily fit or feel part of your nuclear or your biological group. Curious your all experiences on that.
I'm never going to another high school reunion ever again.
I've never been to one.
I've never
been. Yeah, don't start. Don't start. No.
I've been to exactly one high school reunion. And I'm here to tell you guys it was my 10th. And it was the one and only time that I have ever felt good about my high school and my position in life. I mean, by the time I went to my 10th, let's see, I had 3 kids. I was moved. So I was gone out of California, which for some reason felt kind of amazing to me. I'm not sure why. I love my home state now, but at the time I was kind of over it. And everybody I knew from high school, and keep in mind, I was not popular, okay? I was not in the in crowd. I was more of like the nerdy choir person, but I felt like I had accomplished something. A lot of the jocks were like overweight, and nothing against being overweight, but it was sort of like they had kind of let themselves know. You could smell cigarettes on their breath, you know, receding hairlines, the whole 9 yards. And again, no shade on that. But 10 years later, I wasn't expecting it. That's all I'm going to say. I felt like it was kind of a confidence booster.
It is. It also goes to when we peak and how long we hang on to that. And it's interesting. The sociological, anthropological mix of high school reunions is fascinating. But like Dele, I've never been to mine.
I stay in touch with the people from high school that are important to me. And some of them will keep me informed about things that are happening outside of the people that I choose to stay in touch with.
Libby, what about you?
So I'm from a small town, and I did go to my 10-year and my 20 year, right? 20 year? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. We had that a few years ago. I went to both, but because it, Pendleton is like, it's not like super easy to get to if you're not living, in the close area. So I think it's hard to get people to come back to a small town when they either, for a reunion, when they either already live in the general area. So they see people on a fairly regular basis. I think that can make the appeal of a reunion less fun. If you're like, I see these people, like every other week. And I have at this age, like people have kids and like responsibilities, like their own parents, all kinds of jobs, whatever, everything else going on. Or you have people who live very far away and it is a trek to get back there. So I will say both reunions were pretty small, but they were both very fun. And actually one of my best friends from childhood and I just kind of had not a falling out officially, but kind of a growing apart, just some like misunderstandings and miscommunications and different phases of life where I think it was hard for us to understand where the other person was. And at our 20th reunion, that friend and I, we'd been, talking before then, but we, had an official, both of us, I'm so sorry. I was in a totally different place than you were. I miss you so much. I'm just so glad that we're friends again, like closer friends, it's not like we removed each other from our phones. We still checked in periodically, but it wasn't the same. So it was actually I was so glad I went because we were fine without having that conversation, but it was really nice to have that with her because I just love her. And, people just, sometimes just you have those people from from all stages of life who you can just kind of sink back in with at any time, no matter how much time has passed. And I do feel that with my high school friends quite a bit.
That's such a great point because I think we were talking about it earlier with social media and you feel like you're connected to friends, but something happens when you're in person. Forgiveness, grace, opportunity, things I think there's something to be said for the in real life magic that goes away a lot. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to Catherine. Love you, girl.
Shout out, Catherine. Here's a question. GF. Would your 18-year-old self recognize who you are now? Like if you had a reunion with yourself right now?
No. Oh, great question.
No. What an amazing question. And no.
My 18-year-old self would be blacked out. So she wouldn't know what's going on, to be clear.
Oh my goodness.
It's only funny if it's true.
It's true.
Sorry, it's such a good question, Kristin, because I think it brings up for me, could I have seen the potential for my own character growth? And I couldn't at that point in time. I just thought, this is who I am. This is my life. This is how it is. This is how I'm going to be. And I didn't even think that I wanted or needed to grow beyond that. Isn't that kind of sad? But I really am thinking about it now that you brought that up. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't recognize myself for sure.
Did anybody else do those time capsule things in high school where they were like, where are you going to be? And because, I've not been to my high school reunions, but I'm assuming they ask those questions. So when you go in the 10, 20, 30 year that you can go back and see. So of course, before we recorded this episode, I looked up the only person who I remembered what they put in their time capsule. She was on the cheer squad with me. We were like a bunch of nerdy smarty pants cheerleaders. I don't know. She is a doctor and I don't know what her life is like because I have not spoken to her since high school, but I thought I'd never imagine the life that I have today. Like you, Amy, I had this idea based on where I was at that time and never imagined the life that I have today at all, ever.
You know, I don't know if I did a time capsule, but I know for certain that in my high school senior annual, that all the seniors were asked like what they're going to be when they grow up. And this is proof. This is documented proof that I have always been ahead of my time. And I have always been a trendsetter, because next to my senior picture, which, let's be clear, looks like a glamour shot from inside the mall, I have the biggest poof ever.
The big bangs, the blue eyeshadow.
Perfectly big blonde tendrils. It said I wanted to become wait for it, professional pickleball player.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry?
Class of 1993, baby. Go Tigers.
Ammunition. Wow.
For those of you that don't know, pickleball did originate in the Pacific Northwest. And yes, it is that old.
I seriously just asked that question because I did not grow up in the Pacific Northwest. So I am constantly amazed and baffled
by the pickleball phenomenon.
It is so cool. I'm going to deck myself out in some pickleball gear.
It's so fun just to hear it. Some people don't like hearing the click of the paddle on the pickleball, but I like it.
And they get so competitive.
It's the only kitchen I want to be in.
They have a kitchen. I was like, what?
Thank you.
Kristin, what about you? What would your 18-year-old self say about you today?
Oh, absolutely no clue. And I think did not knowing give us greater potential because it was kind of unwritten a bit. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. My only goal was to get the F out of Phoenix, Arizona. So that's why I asked that question earlier about family reunions. I was in a place that technically is a hometown, but it never felt like home. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I was always looking to what was next. And in fact, when I selected a college, I never even visited at first. I just packed my 3 bags allowed by the airlines and got on the plane and showed up somewhere new. I was so focused on what I didn't want that what I wanted was just going to be up for grabs. So I think that, and that's been fortuitous and other things in my life too, but I was, you know, they always say you should run towards something and not from something. I didn't learn that until later, but it ended up being one of the best things of my life, but I just knew what I wasn't. I had no clue what I could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's easier to figure out what you don't want to be or what you don't want to do than it is to figure out what you do, right?
I think so. And sometimes that's what life gives you is bowling ball parameters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what kind of reunion I like? Former coworker reunions.
Yes.
Yeah. Sign me up for those. I'll show up to all of those.
Yep, well, that's scheduled or unscheduled? Like awkward at the airport or
scheduled? No, it has to be scheduled. I have to be able to plan my outfit ahead of time.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not get crazy. We got to plan the outfit. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you know everything at all times. So I do love seeing people I used to work with, because then I can catch up on what's happening in the company and with all the other people I used to work with but still keep my current job that I love so much. Yeah.
It's the airport. We're a military family. And so for us, at one point in time, my daughter actually thought everyone lived at the airport and you just circled around the airport and you would park and someone you wanted would come out and get in the car. So
the best.
In her, yes, like she grew up nowhere near her family for the most part. So you went to the airport, someone you loved got in the car and came home with you. And sometimes she wanted to return them to the airport early. I mean, hello. We all want to send people back a little early sometimes.
Relatable.
So the airport is the place. And when you talk about coworkers or loved ones, like I was at the airport checking in for a flight, turned around. One of my favorite managers that I have ever had in my entire life was standing next to me. And I hugged her I hugged her so hard. I was so happy to see her and just hear about her life and what was happening right now in her life. And another time I went to the airport, turned around, my daughter was standing next to me. And I'm like, what are the chances that you would be at the same baggage claim as me?
That's crazy.
Like I love reunions. And yes, I do love, Alysse, like you, I love to plan because I'm like, I don't want to show up looking crazy. I want to look my best in whatever it is that I'm doing. So I like to have a little warning. But the impromptu ones are sometimes the best ones at airports, supermarkets. What do you think, Kristin? Jazz hands.
I have an airport story that hopefully will segue into the next reunion topic of running into your exes. But here's my airport story. I know Alysse is like, here's my airport story.
It happened a month ago. There's just so many.
Different airport for Alysse. Yeah. But I think that we should talk about that, the planned or accidental bump-ins of former partners. But a month ago, I don't even think I've told any of you this yet. I was flying home from Chicago, waiting on my flight back to Seattle. I had done a keynote that morning, so I was looking good, but I still had a long Uber ride. But you know, when you're at the airport and you're like, I'm all right. I'm not my usual airport gear, which is a hot mess. And I'm waiting, you know, everything gets super shoved in because there's another flight next to you and everybody's getting off the plane and because you're the early boarding group. Hello, Alaska Airlines. Shout out to Miss Amy, waiting to get on. And my ex-boyfriend walks off the plane that I'm about to get on. And we're in this narrow thing, you know, everybody's shoved up there trying to get on there, that we literally have to walk by each other like this. It was the craziest experience. And I think we get like one of those where all the odds work in our favor because you look good, it's on your terms, and you're just like, oh, hello. But that was...
what are the chances? I love that because it's the looking good part. My ex that I thought I was going to marry is bald and fat. So I'm like, maybe I dodged a bullet there. I don't know.
Let's be clear. All of our reunions, we're going to be on the other side of...
Hottie McHot with the beach waves.
I know. You're welcome. You're welcome that you got to date this for a minute. So yeah.
If I was you, I would want to be me too.
Yeah. My point was those unexpected reunions that you get to the other side and you're like, thank you, all things in the world.
Yes.
So any other ex stories that people want to share? Positive, negative?
I don't have any good ones. They're just... no, I don't have any good ones.
We have to have a dating episode at a different time because dating in your 30s, 40s, and 50s is wild. It is like the Wild West.
Well, Libby hasn't even got to any of those decades yet.
And so reunion,
entered my 40th year, entered it in December.
You don't want to run into, or maybe you do. It depends. Like I have to say, all of those crazy grocery store, restaurant reunions, I'm like, I did really good. I don't have any babies. Like, what?
You have lots of babies.
Yeah.
Well, I do. But when you're dating someone and they're like, I don't want to date you because you're too old, because nobody likes a 40-year-old woman except for a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old. And so it felt so good that guy that was like, no, because you're not young enough.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm living my best life because I don't have a toddler.
Oh.
Because you married a 20-year-old who didn't have any kids. I'm like, okay, good for you. Maybe that's what you wanted.
They married a toddler too.
Yes.
Oh, everyone's got a toddler.
And we had kids that were the same age, but like those are when you have those unexpected reunions that you feel like, oh, I dodged a bullet, or God knew exactly, what is it? Tim McGraw's Unanswered Prayers.
Mm-hmm.
When you have those reunions and you find out where you are, where they are, and you're like, oh, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you learn when you go to those reunions. Sure. I mean, it shows up in so many other places in your life, but reunions are a really great affirmation, or that jog if you go. I mean, it doesn't have to be a high school reunion because, like I said, I've never gone to a single one, never want to. But it's the reunions that you realize, okay, life didn't go as planned. However, it's a beautiful life. It's the life that I've chosen. It's the path that I've taken, or maybe I want to adjust my path because this is not really what I need or want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amy Franco.
And I would say, because I loved what you just said, and I would say even to piggyback on that idea a little bit, Dele, is the whole concept of getting together with purpose, right? There's a reason for us gathering, whatever that, may be, whether it's family, whether it's we're class of 94 Spartans, woot, woot, whatever it is. But I love that. It's because we may not be connected now physically, or even not physically, but maybe in proximity, similar proximity. But the whole point being, we can still connect. We can still have that shared memory and that shared experience.
I think that's the beautiful thing about events in general is we've recorded several episodes together. They're all about events. Like this even builds on that first conversation around
the art of gathering.
Art of gathering.
Intention. I was turning around to look at my book stack. The art of gathering, like the intention behind the gathering itself, whether it's celebrating with intention how far you've come in your life, or being intentional about coming back to the people that really mean something in your life, the accidentals, all of those things. But I love these conversations because events really are the life-giving celebration of life itself. That's why we come together, whether it's to celebrate how far we've come in high school, family, our chosen family, because those tend to be my favorite celebration as a military family member. I have deeply rooted family ties. However, being in the military meant I wasn't going to be close to them for 2 decades. Right. I lived away from my family. And so the events of celebrating the people, bringing people together that are part of who you are in the past, the present, or the future.
It reminds me of that saying that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And they all have meaning and purpose to each of them. And as you said earlier, sometimes what didn't work out for you actually worked out for you. And those are the milestones and moments because of reunions where we're able to see that, savor that, or release it.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said.
Savor it, release it. I like that.
Well, this has been the best reunion, one of my favorite reunions of the month when I see you gals. But that is a wrap for this episode of Beats Working. If you've got an idea or want to reach out, email us at info@beatsworking.show. Remember, every detail matters. Every moment counts. And no matter what, the show and the reunion must go on.
Thanks for listening to Beats Working, Winning the Game of Events, where we explore what it takes to make moments unforgettable.
If you're leaving with a little more inspiration, a little more perspective, and a big side ache from all of the laughing at our funny jokes, then we've done our job.
Beats Working is a Work P2P production. If you've enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platforms.
Your support helps us keep the magic going.